Welcome to the Revo Report. We're inspiring faith with reason and reasoning with faith. All right, buckle up because the truth is about to hit you harder than a double espresso, and it's going to change everything you thought you knew. So make sure to subscribe if you love Jesus to help us spread and defend the good news. We're living in a world that's increasingly shrouded in shadows, aren't we? It feels like every time we turn around, another layer of deception is peeled back, revealing something unsettling. But what if the very darkness we see is actually screaming for light? And so today we're going to pull back the curtain and expose not just the shadows, but the ultimate source of light itself. Let's see what Karoline Leavitt has to say about this.
So Obama knew about the retirement cave, spent millions to try to computerize America's workforce retirement paperwork, failed. Does President Trump promise we're going to shut this cave down?
Yes, he does. And that's why Elon Musk and President Trump brought it to the American people's attention in the Oval Office yesterday. And as they did that, Jesse, I was watching the faces of the mainstream media reporters who were in the Oval Office. And there was sheer silence because it appeared that many of them who are supposed to be writing the truth about our federal bureaucracy had no idea that the federal retirement system is being processed deep into the ground and is not computerized. And the president and Elon are shining a light on the truth about our federal government. But the mainstream media simultaneously is saying there's an alleged lack of transparency and access. It's preposterous. Together, President Trump and Elon, the entire Doge team, and this entire administration are shining a light on the corruption, the waste, the fraud, and abuse. Sunlight is the best disinfectant, and they are revealing the rot of this city every single day. And it's music to the ears of the American people who voted for this, as you rightly pointed out. 77 million of them liked what President Trump promised on the campaign trail, and he is delivering. And it's fascinating to watch.
Everyone's coming up to me talking about.
And right now, really what we're seeing is an unearthing of the hidden and truth getting out to the public square that can't be contained. Millions and millions of taxpayer dollars funneled into some underground retirement system cave that Obama supposedly knew about and tried to computerize but failed. And it sounds like something straight out of a spy novel, doesn't it? It's almost comical if it weren't so infuriating and if it wasn't so 2025. But it's more than just a quirky news story. It's a stark reminder of the shadowy corners within our own systems. We're told one thing, often then polished, PR-approved version, while the reality, the true reality, is buried deep, sometimes literally underground in a cave somewhere. And this isn't just about government bureaucracy. It's a microcosm of a much larger issue, the pervasive lack of transparency that plagues our world. I mean, we would think this in a third world country, corruption, right? Mishandling of funds, maybe in a third world country, maybe in a second world country, but to happen in the United States of America. I mean, I think most people were thinking, okay, there's some level of corruption, but the level of incompetency that's been revealed is massive. And from political spin to corporate jargon, we are constantly bombarded with narratives crafted to obscure, to distract, to outright deceive at some levels. And what does this darkness thrive on? Number one, secrecy, hidden agendas, things kept in the cave, so to speak. But here's the thing, just like what Karline said, light is the best disinfectant, sunlight. Light has incredible power. It's not just about illumination, it's about disinfection. And when light shines, corruption withers, deception crumbles, and truth, well, truth prevails. In Proverbs 25:2, it says, "It is the glory of God to conceal things, but the glory of kings is to search things out." I think that's what we're seeing here. We're seeing Donald Trump search things out. We're seeing Elon Musk search things out. And this verse isn't advocating for royal snooping, but rather highlighting a profound principle. God, in his infinite wisdom, can keep mysteries, but earthly rulers, those in position of authority and leadership and responsibility, should be driven to uncover truth, to bring hidden things into the light for the good of their people. Transparency isn't just good governance, it's a moral imperative. And it's not just a political and societal good. Think about the erosion of trust when institutions operate in the shadows. You abandon truth, you abandon love. Truth is the foundation of love. And without truth, without transparency, how can there be genuine trust? How can there be real progress? How can there be societal health, governmental health, progression? The answer is we can't. Darkness breeds decay, but light fosters growth, healing, and yes, even justice. What do you think about this need for truth in our public institutions? Is this a long time coming? Is this something that's being overblown? Let's see.
These ridiculous items, the Guatemalan sex change surgeries, terrorists' tuition. It's unbelievable. The president the other day, Karoline, said some of this has to be kickbacks. Is he going to direct Pam Bondi to look into some of these spending items to see if people were skimming?
Well, he's already directed Elon Musk and Doge to do just that. And of course, the secretaries at all of his departments as well, who have signed secretarial orders to direct their staff at their respective agencies to cancel these contracts if they do not align with the president's America First agenda. And so all of these secretaries have been directed to go line by line and determine whether or not this funding advances America's interests. And as you heard President Trump say in the Oval Office today, the vast majority of these contracts that America has been dishing out do not align with the American people's interests. They are the antithesis of putting America first, and it's been a complete waste and abuse of the American taxpayers' hard-earned dollars. And so the entire administration is on board with this effort, and it's about time that people in this city treat the federal government as a business. Small business owners across the country have to look at their money in and their money out every single day. Bureaucrats have never done that. And that's the other irony in the mainstream media saying that there's no transparency. I mean, before it was Elon Musk and President Trump doing this and being highly scrutinized for it, it was just unnamed bureaucrats in the city that nobody knew just writing checks. And finally, we're actually looking at the books, and what they are revealing is truly appalling, but I guess not surprising when you look at the way that Washington has been run for decades. Again, the American people voted for this monumental change, and that's exactly what they're getting.
You know, you showed.
Wow. The caves aren't just metaphorical locations of government waste. We're seeing it happen all over the place, from within the United States, from outside the United States. And these caves, so to speak, exist within us too, exist within you and me. We all have them. Those shadowy recesses of our hearts and minds where we hide our fears, our failings, our deepest insecurities. They are the internal caves where darkness festers, where shame and guilt breed in secrecy. And just as sunlight disinfects societal corruption, just as transparency can fix situations like this, spiritual light is essential to illuminate and heal these inner shadows within me, within you, and all of us. The Bible speaks of this internal darkness explicitly. In Ephesians 5:11-13, it commands, "Take no part in the unfruitful works of darkness, but instead expose them, for it is shameful even to speak of things that they do in secret. But when anything is exposed by the light, it becomes visible." You see, this isn't just about exposing external evils. It's about exposing the darkness within me, within you, within all of us. It's about bringing our hidden struggles, our secret sins, our unacknowledged pain into the light of truth. Even psychologically, we know that there's a weight of secrets, that we carry that weight sociologically, psychologically, financially. They fester and they grow in the dark, in those caves, poisoning our souls, our systems, and hindering genuine connection with ourselves, with others, and most importantly, with God. When we dare to bring these hidden things into the light, into confession, into vulnerability, something transformative happens. The shame begins to dissipate. The power of the darkness weakens. The healing, my friends, can begin. And there is darkness in scientism because scientific materialism is great. but it alone fails to satisfy the deep longing of meaning in our lives. And if we're just going to address these external societal problems, governmental problems, while they're crucial, it leaves the inner caves of the human heart untouched. True, lasting transformation that's going to happen in America and the world requires light that penetrates the depths and the recesses of each and every person's being. You need to change from the inside out. Trump needs to change from the inside out. Elon and each and every person needs to change from the inside out if external transformation is to happen. And that can happen through spiritual disciplines, because ultimately we are spiritual beings. Confession, prayer, community, these things become vital. They're not just religious rituals. They are the very act of turning on the light in our inner caves. They are choices to reject secrecy, embrace vulnerability, to allow the truth to shine into the darkest corners of our souls. And when we do, we find that the light of God doesn't just expose, it heals, it cleanses, it sets us free. Because Jesus, the ultimate light, the ultimate truth incarnate, has the ability to set us free. Because he defeated sin and death. He defeated darkness. Let's finish this off, and I have one very important point to share.
Some receipts today, like they didn't believe these things existed. If you show these people in the press room, this is $2.5 million for cow flatulence reduction. Do any of these reporters make a case for $2.5 million for cow flatulence reduction in Brazil?
Well, they tried to make the case yesterday for $50 million in condoms to Gaza, saying that they actually went to another country, as if that's any better. The point is we are discovering this egregious misuse of American taxpayer funds. And yes, Jesse, we have the receipts, and I will continue to pull them at every briefing if they continue to ask, and we will provide that information. We have nothing to hide. Again, President Trump is exposing what the American people want him to do.
All right, Karline, we look forward to your briefings. They're very entertaining and informative. Good luck.
This is wild. But while we've talked about the need for truth in the public square and the power of light to dispel inner darkness, where does this ultimate light come from? What is the source of this transformative truth? The answer, unequivocally, is Jesus Christ. John 14:6 says, Jesus said to them, I am the way, the truth, and the life, and no one comes to the Father except through me. This isn't just Jesus making a claim to possess truth. He is declaring that he is truth. He is the incarnate truth. He is truth become life, truth breathed into life. He is not just a way, he is the way. He is not just life, he is life itself. And crucially, for our discussion, he is not just a truth, but he is the truth. Now think about it. In a world drowning in relativism, where truth is often seen as subjective, fragmented, and ever-shifting, Jesus stands as the unshakable, eternal, and absolute truth. He is not just revealing truth, he embodies truth. His very being is truth. Life in the actual world under God is beautiful because it is truth. It is lived out in truth, absolute truth. And Jesus as the truth is not just an abstract concept to be debated in theological circles. He is the living embodiment of reality as it truly is, as God intended it to be. And when we align ourselves with him, with the truth, with his teachings and his very being, we are aligning ourselves with ultimate reality, with ultimate truth. And this is why the call to follow Jesus is not just a call to religious observance. It's a call to radical honesty, to profound transparency, to a life lived in the light. It's a call to bring our inner caves, our inner darkness, before the light of the world and allow him to transform us from the inside out. It's a call to live truthfully in every aspect of our lives, reflecting the very nature of the truth we claim to follow. And so what does it mean to you if Jesus is the truth, if Jesus is the way, if Jesus is life? The world may seem increasingly dark, shadows may lengthen, and deception may proliferate. But remember, darkness is not an entity in itself. It is merely the absence of light. And the light, the true light, the light of the world is always available to you and to me and to all of us, always ready to penetrate even the deepest and darkest of caves, both societal, governmental, and also personal. And so let's commit to seeking truth in all things, to shining light into the darkness, and most importantly, to drawing closer to Jesus, the ultimate truth, the source of all light and life. And as we do, we will not only see the darkness exposed, but we will experience the transformative power of his light in our own lives and in the world around us. Isaiah 40:31 says, "But they who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not go weary. They shall walk and not faint." May we all find our strength, our truth, and our life in him. God bless you, and may you walk in this light. Welcome to the Revo Report. We're inspiring faith with reason and reason with faith.